Welcome to the Rink Report presented by Ohio Credit Union. Dylan Tyrer with you ahead of the first of two meetings between the Blue Jackets and the LA Kings this season. The Blue Jackets come into this one against the Kings off a big victory against the Calgary Flames. It was a response game for the Blue Jackets. Remember, they fell to the Buffalo Sabres on Wednesday night. They needed a good performance against the Calgary Flames. That's exactly what they got. Patrick Laine, Eric Robinson, and Sean Corrali scored the Blue Jackets goals. And for more on that complete 60-minute effort, we'll throw it over to Bob McElligott and Jean-Luc Grandpierre.
The Blue Jackets come into tonight's game, Jean-Luc, after playing a really good game against Calgary just a couple of nights ago. And one of the big differences that the Blue Jackets made in that game is they took Patrick Laine off the line with Johnny Gaudreau, put him onto a line with Jack Roslovic, and what that has created is some balanced scoring.
Yes, balanced scoring and confusion for the opposition. Listen, everybody want to see Gaudreau and Laine together, but if you look throughout the league, the 1-2 punch a lot of time are separated because it creates a nightmare as far as checking, and that's exactly what happened. Laine excelled in that role. Gaudreau is okay with Gus Nyquist and Boone Jenner, and unless you're down in the game and you want to push late or on the power play, why not keep them separate? Because I think it helped everyone. I think Jack Roslovic played extremely well. Chinnikov was a big contributor as well. So overall, I like the experience. Let's see some more of that tonight.
And that's what I was going to say to you. Jack Roslovic really is the key to that because when he is playing well, he can set up Patrick very well. And you mentioned Chinnikov. His defensive game is really underrated. I mean, this is a guy only his second year in the league that is playing the 200-foot game.
Yes, absolutely. And for Chinnikov, played in the KHL under Bob Hartley, and you know, I've played for Bob, and trust me, if you don't play a 200-foot game, you're in trouble. And I think Chinnikov learned that extremely well, and obviously with a year under his belt, definitely helps in the defensive zone. But also Jack Roslovic, yes, he's kind of snake-bitten as far as scoring goals right now, but we saw him skate with the puck, distributing the puck really well, and still had 4 shots on net.
Now, if there is a problem the Blue Jackets are having as a team, it is taking penalties. They have got to stay out of the penalty box. It didn't hurt them against Calgary because the penalty kill was perfect, but you can't go into each and every game giving other teams 4 and 5 chances on their power play.
Yes, and that's the one thing with the Blue Jackets. Certain teams play with a lot of pace, and for the Blue Jackets, being in the right position and making sure those sticks are in the right position, because a lot of those penalties were not necessarily roughing, or boarding. It was really like a lot of stick penalties. For the Blue Jackets, yes, checking is important, but being in good position even more. So move your feet at all time. It's easier said than done, as you know, Bob, but, they can figure it out.
All right, that's the way we see it. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks again to Bob and Jean-Luc, and you heard them talk about one area the Blue Jackets need to clean up, that's staying out of the penalty box. They've taken 5 penalties in each of the last 5 games, and head coach Brad Larson says that has to stop.
Hey, you got to stay out of the box. That's it. That's really, there's nothing short of that. They're all penalties. It's there's some games you feel like you're getting maybe shortchanged, but there may be 1 or 2 in the last 3 games where you have questions. But our sticks, it's check with your legs, keep your sticks on the ice, and that's what we've done poorly here and taken way too many penalties.
The LA Kings come into this one against the Blue Jackets sitting in second place in the Pacific Division. This is the 4th of a 5-game road trip that they started 2-1. They played last night against the Montreal Canadiens, knocking them off by a final score of 4-2. So the Kings, they're playing well coming into this game against the Blue Jackets. A lot of different players contributing for LA this season. At the top of the lineup, it's Kevin Fiala. Remember, they traded with the Minnesota Wild for Fiala this offseason, then signed him to a long-term extension. He's rewarded the Kings with 31 points through 30 games this season. Longtime King and current team captain Anze Kopitar, second on the club with 25 goals. And how about Gabe Vilardi? He leads LA with 13 goals on the season. So this is a big one for both these teams. The Kings want to finish up this road trip on a high note. Of course, they've got one more after this, but they want to win here tonight against the Blue Jackets. And on the other side of things, the Blue Jackets are finishing up a 3-game homestand. They want 2 points before they hit the road. That'll do it for the Rink Report presented by Ohio Credit Union. For Bob McElligott and Jean-Luc Grandpierre, I'm Dylan Tyrer saying enjoy the game.